Today on The Boot Guy, we are checking out Chamberlain's Leather Milk, leather care products. They were good enough to send me 3 different types of their products to test out on footwear, but I decided that I'm going to test it out on a couple of different leather items. So I got 3 products here from Chamberlain's Leather Milk, and I've got 3 different items that I'm going to clean with each product so I can see the best results from the product. So first off is the healing balm. This is more just like it says, it's a healing balm. It's a pasty substance. I've already played with it a little bit just to see what it was like. And I gotta say, this stuff smells good and it is not toxic, and it's just pretty cool. So the next product is formula number 3, and this is the water protection formula. Now with the number 3, what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat a pair of my boots with this. This is a pair of Double H Western boots. It has a leather sew down welt, and it is getting a little dry. The toes are getting a little dry, and the whole front section of the boot just could really use a really good once over. I'm not going to use mink oil this time like I normally would. I'm going to use this Chamberlain's Leather Milk, and then I'm going to put it to the test over the next few weeks and just see what really happens with it. And then the third product is the boot and shoe cream. So I'm not going to use this on a pair of boots or shoes. What I'm going to use this on is this belt, this 20-year-old brown leather belt that desperately needs some attention. So I had this belt made for me in about the mid-90s, like 95 or 96, somewhere in Arizona. I've mink oiled it a few times, but I haven't really done anything else to it. So I'm going to try the Chamberlain's Leather Milk, the boot and shoe cream on my brown leather belt. So first I'm going to start out with the healing balm, and I'm going to use the healing balm on the leather parts of my shotgun case. This is a vintage shotgun case that I acquired from an uncle of mine, and I actually love this case just because it's got so much character. He bought it in the mid-70s from a shop in Chicago that no longer exists called Brighton Johnson. It was at North Avenue and Oak Park Avenue. But it has these beautiful little leather sections, a leather carrying strap, this full veg tan leather all the way through. And this thing has never been treated or coated, so it could really use a little attention. So let's take it apart and let's start to use a little bit of this healing balm on it. I'm going to use it on both sides. I'm not going to skip this out of here. I'm going to put this stuff on both sides, on the raw side of the leather also. Just because it was probably made in the 70s and has not been treated ever. I mean, there's probably never been any oil or anything added to this leather. And it looks pretty damn good. You think of all the time that I throw this thing. Alright, so that's all nice. So that's the healing balm. I mean, that just looks beautiful. That veg tan leather just looks 100% better than what it did. And it feels awesome too. It just doesn't feel like a coating. It feels like it's something that's actually sucking into the leather and just getting in all those nooks and crannies. So I'm going to let this thing set aside for a couple of days maybe, and then I'll come back and revisit it and see what it looks like. Alright, so I'm going to wipe this table down. I'm just going to get the balm off the table. And then I'm gonna lay out this bad boy. So this is my favorite brown belt. And you might not be able to see because of the darkness of the belt, but it's a beautiful brown, heavy, thick leather belt. Brass buckle, little leather pieces that have been adhered to the brass buckle here and here. And as you can tell, over the years, it's taken on just a lot of character. The only problem I'm having with it is that it's just dry. So I'm going to try a little bit of this Chamberlain's boot and shoe cream on here and just see how it comes out and what happens. I'm just imagining it's going to look phenomenal. Chamberlain sends along these beautiful pads, so you don't really need to pick up anything. It's kind of all provided for you. All you need to do is find the leather items of yours that truly need a cleaning and or just a touching up. So that's the product. And now we're going to open it up. We're going to spill some on. And we're going to see what happens. This stuff smells great too. Look, it's taking off all the dirt. Years and years of dirt and neglect just being wiped away. So as you can tell, I'm not wearing any gloves for this, and you don't need to because Chamberlain's is using really high quality materials in order to make their leather conditioners and finishers and water repellency and all this other stuff. They're using cosmetic grade materials for this. So there's no reason that you need to put on gloves or worry about long-term exposure. The stuff is just really natural and just really nice. All right, so this is the boot and shoe cream that I used on this belt. And this belt looks amazing. I really wish these colors would come through more on camera for you guys so you could see exactly. But what once was a really dry and just, I wouldn't say crappy looking, I mean it had a lot of character, but man, this is just beautiful. Got some on the table here, I'll rub it in. Man, this is stunning. All right, so I'm gonna let this thing dry for a few days before I wear it. I think it's time to move on to a pair of boots. All right, so now this brings us to this product. This is the water protection. Now I'm choosing to put the water protection on this pair of Double H boots that I wear all the time because I wear them all the time. Rain or shine, I have been wearing these boots. I've worn them through some pretty heavy storms and my feet have not gotten wet. Now these boots are not waterproof, but just because of the high quality leathers that Double H uses and all the oils that they add to this boot when they ship it out, it really has not started to take on water yet, but I could really use to do something with that. Now this formula number 3 is definitely going to darken the leather on these boots, so it should be pretty dramatic. So before I use this, I have to brush off the welts, as you always do with a pair of boots. Before you add anything to them, you want to get all the dirt and dust out of your boot. So you brush out your welt real nice. Get that out, get your stitches as much as possible. Since it's a Western boot, you might want to get the shaft. Get back there by the heel. Do not drag your brush across the bottom. Don't brush the bottom of your boot here. Don't get any residue or any rocks or anything into there and then brush it through your boot. You could cause some scarring or something, and there's really no point in that. Just do the upper, do the welt, do all your stitches, and move on. So here's what they look like now. Let's get to work on them. Totally changes the color, as you can see. but you gotta kind of expect that. This is an oil tanned leather, and we're adding a coat to the top of it, and it's a wet coat, so it's going to look a little different for a couple of days. No, they are drastically different. I guess they kind of look the same as they're taking on a little bit more, as it sucks up more. But at least I got the welts. I got the welts really good in both of those, like right in there and right in there. Really got those real good. That's kind of what I was concerned about, is that whole corner right in there. Did I get all that sealed in? Because I don't want my welts to go bad. Because eventually I'll have to have this pair of boots resoled with something just like this. So that's Chamberlins Leather Milk. That's the healing balm, the water protection, and the boot and shoe cream, plus the applicators. Hey, if you've ever used anything from Chamberlins, please comment below. Let us know if you've used it on anything else that's pretty unique and made of leather. Hey, if you're interested in knowing more about Chamberlins Leather Milk, remember, you can always shoot me over an email. If you want to know more about any of the products that I used today, please also email me. If you're interested in seeing some detailed photos of either my shotgun case, that belt that I had since the 90s, or just my pair of Double H boots, after I've used the Chamberlins on it, remember to swing by to bootguy.com. There I'll have a blog posting showing off the products. I'll have some links that'll make it a little bit easier picking some of this up, and I'll have detailed photos of what it looks like after you use Chamberlins on the item. Hey, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button below, and remember, if you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, all day long I'm putting up photos and just talking about boots and other work items that I come in contact with. Hey, if you've got any questions about using Chamberlins on any product, feel free to shoot me over an email. If I can't come up with an answer, I'll just send it over to Chamberlins, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to talk to you. All right, until the next time, I'm the Boot Guy. Thanks a lot for watching.